Mr. Summer League himself, Chet Holmgren, and Paolo Banchero, they were scheduled to face off on Monday, but the Magic elected to shut down Banchero after 2 strong performances in Las Vegas. This intense rivalry between the 2 top picks in the 2022 NBA draft is gonna have to wait, but we were still treated to another strong performance from Holmgren, who finished with 16 points, 10 boards, and hit a majestic unicorn sidestep 3, baby. And of course, all eyes at Summer League have been on that 7-footer, and rightfully so with him hitting shots like that. My guy is a legit rim protector, but he can also handle and shoot on offense. Now granted, the quality of defenders will improve in the real NBA action, but few bigs in the league are even capable of shooting with such rhythm. Now Thunder fans, they haven't seen a tall, lanky player make threes off the dribble like Holmgren since, that's right, Kevin Durant. Now, I'm not saying Holmgren is Durant, but the comparison is kind of real. Kristaps Porzingis, he was a popular comparison for Chet prior to the draft. But listen, KP, he could never handle or pass the ball like he can. In every game, Holmgren shows off new dimensions of his game both as a scorer and a playmaker. In OKC, he's given them a chance to handle the ball from every spot on the floor. There's no better show in Vegas right now. That's guaranteed. Now, even though Jabari Smith Jr. cannot buy a bucket right now, his defense is no joke. On Monday against the Spurs, Smith had his best scoring performance of the Summer League so far, logging 19 points on 3 of 5 shooting from 3. Now, shots haven't fallen for Smith in his previous 2 games, and he still isn't generating much space as a ball handler. But he has showed he can excel in the off-ball role, shooting and cutting, just like he did in his 3rd game with the Rockets. And on the other hand, Smith is an absolute terror on the defensive side of the ball. Smith definitely needs to make progress on the offense as a shot creator, but that's going to take some time, maybe even years. For now, what Jalen Green needs is a shooter who can get stops on defense. Now Smith, he's got the versatility to defend anyone on the court, and this season, he might have more support than expected, given the play of Tari Eason, the forward Houston drafted number 17, who has shined bright in Las Vegas this summer. Against the Spurs, Eason had 22 points, 11 boards, 3 dimes, and 2 blocks, baby. Oh yeah, throw in 2 steals, registering his 3rd consecutive double-double. Heck yeah. Now Eason looks like a surefire steal because of his ability to improvise in the half court and make hustle plays on the break. Now on defense, Eason and Smith, they are the energizers for the Rockets, the tone setters, if you will. Jayshawn Tate, he's going to appreciate the help in that area. Those 3 will demand that Green and everyone else put forth their best effort too. Now, the Rockets could do lineups with these 4 that could feature Alfred Sengun if they want a center, or even Kevin Porter Jr. if they want to go small. This season should be the Rockets' experimental season, where they can experiment with different types of play, and on the defensive side of the ball, be able to pair Smith and Eason, and see how that could end up positioning them for the playoffs. Now, what could be really interesting is seeing how those 4 plus Alfred Sengun play together as a strong 5. And could it be the actual starting lineup for years to come that could lead the Rockets to a championship? That is to be determined. Now let's talk about James Wiseman for a second. In his long-awaited return to action on Sunday after missing all of last season, Golden State's opening possession went right to the number 2 pick in last year's draft. It was a lob slam, 5 slam a jamma, baby. And that vertical dimension that the Warriors didn't have in Kevon Looney or Draymond Green showed up in Summer League. Wiseman, you can tell he's still raw. And you would expect that from a 21-year-old following a 15-month absence from the court. So he's going to work those kinks out throughout the Summer League in the first half of the season. But guess what I saw? He showed flashes of some of the qualities that motivated the Warriors to draft him ahead of LaMelo Ball. In my opinion, Wiseman's defense definitely stood out most in his return. He had 2 blocks and at least 1 textbook shot alteration, sticking his hands straight up in the air and proceeded to launch off the ground and smack that thing back. Now, we all know the Warriors drafted Wiseman because he could theoretically give them something that they lack, which was a center with length, athleticism, and a knack for blocking shots in help situations. So, as good as Looney is, he doesn't really provide the versatility that Wiseman brings to the court. Especially on offense, the Warriors increased their pick and roll frequency last season, and they could see more of that action with a leaper in Wiseman. If you guys saw that on Sunday, Wiseman caught a bullet pass from Kuminga and hit a 3-pointer off the dribble. That was flashy, baby. He certainly looks like a part when he's on, and he had 11 points in 20 minutes, but did notch 7 fouls. That's 1 more than you're allowed in real NBA games. Even if some of the whistles were blown too easily, in my opinion, they were blown too easily. The stat line says it all though. Wiseman showed a lot of things that the Warriors lack with his size and presence around the rim, and the glimmers of perimeter skill. But if he shows more consistency, he'll allow Steve Kerr to expand his range of lineup options. But he's far from a finished project, and he's worth affording some patience. If the Warriors want an all-perennial all-star, they'll give him the time he needs to develop. Since we're talking about the big three young guys for the Warriors, let's move on to Moses Moody. And this guy could end up being the best of the three, no joke, because he struggled offensively in the first 2 games in the California Classic. But my man turns things up in Las Vegas, pouring in 34 points in his first game. That's a summer league game, by the way, you guys. He's a long-arm 3-and-D wing with strong defense, and his ability to hit spot-up threes and cut on offense is uncanny. But Moody drew comparisons to Mikal Bridges before last year's draft, just because he's also capable of scoring off more dynamic actions. He can also attack closeouts, stop on a dime from mid-range, and hit that turnaround 3 fadeaway 5-slammer jammer, baby. Or, my man can sprint off screens, then balance himself in midair to launch threes like Stephen Curry. And one more thing, my man has the passing IQ of Steve Nash, no joke. Moody looked like Bridges in his Vegas debut. Just like he did in his first 2 games, he played over 30 minutes this season. The only thing really need left that Moody has to prove is that he can be consistent with heavier minutes. But as important as Gary Payton II was to the Warriors' title run last season, Moody's highs make it clear why the loss of Payton to Portland is relatively easy to stomach. Moody's a 6'6", 7'1" wingspan. Bigger, more versatile on defense, and with more scoring skill off the dribble than Payton. If Moody plays like his role next to Steph, Clay, and Draymond while having an occasional scoring outburst, the Warriors will be an even better team and could possibly repeat as champs this year. He's the connective piece who can also create for himself when necessary. So every opportunity he receives, he needs to capitalize on it and display the same qualities that have made Bridges a marquee player. Let's take a moment to really think about this. The Warriors, they have the following young players as options off the bench next season. You have Wiseman, Kuminga, Moody, the newly signed Donte DiVincenzo, the returning Jordan Poole, and they can mix and match their young players. Also, with that veteran starting 5 in Clay, Steph, Draymond, the Warriors will have the right players to show them the ropes. Can you imagine the changing of the guard in the next couple of years after Steph, Clay, and Draymond retire? Then we would be talking about the Golden State franchise as being one of the top franchises in player development alongside the Miami Heat. So that leads me to today's question. Who is your favorite player in Summer League right now? Is it Chet Holmgren, Paolo Banchero, Kuminga, or Moses Moody? Or is it someone I didn't mention right now? Let me know in the comment section what you guys think. And if you like this video, go ahead and smash that like button and sub to the channel because you don't want to miss out on this exclusive NBA content. And like always, baby, I'll save y'all a seat. Peace.